Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Clown World, or what we would say, the correct world right now, because, San Francisco's done it. I'm shocked. They've really gone, nut over the deep end and really done, good news sources here. Let's get into the article, shall we? San Francisco voters oust DA Chesa Boudin over soft on crime policies. Hey, don't you just love it? It feels so good in your heart to feel like just getting destroyed and preventing from ruining people's lives. It's almost like soft on crime policies just don't work, Democrats. Maybe one day California will become red. No, that's never happening. Hopeful thoughts. Fed up San Francisco voters ousted their progressive district attorney on Tuesday in a recall election that rejected his soft on crime policies, surges in shameless shoplifting, car break-ins, and rampant open-air drug dealing. Oh my. Recall effort against Chesa Boudin, a former public defender and the son of convicted Weather Underground terrorists, was reported by 61% of voters in early returns, according to the NBC. Tuesday's recall election, Proposition H on the ballot, could prove a bellwether of voter sentiment across the U.S., including in New York City, where Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg was faced widespread criticism enacting a slew of progressive policies after taking office in January. Around the country, I've seen the rise of the so-called progressive DAs. Rich Greenberg, a former Republican mayoral candidate and spokesman to the recall effort, told the Post to Tuesday's vote. We are here in San Francisco. We have lived in it, and we don't want to see the great city of New York fall in the way that San Francisco has. Well, it's already has happened, unfortunately, and you guys are not much better. But good job on you, though, for getting rid of this district attorney. That's a step in the right direction, at the very least. New York does not have recall elections, but its governor has power to remove district attorneys who fail to do their jobs. Boudin's loss followed by February's recalls of 3 San Francisco school members amid outrage over their decision to spend time remaining one-third of the city's schools instead of reopening classrooms closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Mayor Brandon Breed, who in December announced a crackdown in which cops would be less tolerant of all the bullshit that has destroyed our city, will name Boudin's replacement until a special election is held in November. Continuing on, the selection process could be complicated. However, by another ballot measure, Proposition C, that, if passed, would bar Breed's pick from running in the special election, according to the San Francisco Chronicle. Boudin, 41, is narrowly elected in 2019 amid a nationwide wave of victories by a progressive DA candidate who vowed to reform a criminal justice system they called historically racist and unfair. I don't know whether he's racist or not specifically. I mean, we're seeing pictures of him, kind of where Asians are getting beat up, etc., like and all stuff like that. But I wouldn't say necessarily that it would be racist. I just think he's just a terrible, terrible guy that, quite honestly, is ruining the lives of the San Francisco people. But residents of ultra-liberal San Francisco population, 850,000, soon soared on Alda's version of radical changes to how we envision justice, which included prohibitions on seeking cash bail, prosecuting juveniles as adults, and seeking tougher sentences under California's anti-gang or three-strike laws. I don't know about the prosecuting juveniles as adults. I would probably go to say it's fine depending on the crime, right? So, say for instance, if you're like robbing something or whatever, or what have you, and it's not by gunpoint, but just robbing or stealing or, any of this other stuff, then yeah, maybe not prosecute them as adults. But if they have killed someone or held somebody at gunpoint or whatever, then yeah, they should probably get charged as an adult, because at some point you should just know just not to do that. So I'm against that one a bit. Of course, that really depends on what they mean by charging and what they did, because I completely think it depends on what they do exactly on the actual crime at hand. Viral videos have revealed shoplifters running rampant during smash and grab thefts at high-end stores, with City Police Lieutenant Tracy McCrae lamenting to Fox News last year that we can have a greatest hits compilation of people just walking in and cleaning up the store shelves. Offenses against Asian Americans also proliferated amid the pandemic, with lifelong resident Henry Wong, 74, who worked for the late comedian Robin Williams, saying that people spit on me on elevators, on the streets, and calling Boudin the worst district attorney has ever had. Again, I don't see. Again, they're gonna say like I don't. We have seen more black people actually go after the Asian community than anything else. So if anything, they're probably the most racist to Asians. I'm not saying all black people are, because I'm certainly not. But definitely, I see a lot of black people doing stuff like that, and of course, they're doing this just due to the fact that they're getting off. But of course, again, this is again. But guys, there's also another thing that you have to understand too, as well. San Francisco is that I am very glad that you guys have took on the offensive and decided to recall this guy out, right? But here's the thing: if you keep voting in the Democratic people the far left Democratic people, then you're going to have a problem, because if they're just going to put in another guy that is the DA, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to get rid of your actual Democratic people that is running your city, not just a DA. But I agree with you that this guy is completely out of control. Your place is a hellscape, and again, as I said, I'm glad you guys took the offensive to get rid of him. I am, and trying to better your city. But again, I think the underlying issue is literally the Democrats are at play here. Okay, I honestly think that's also the issue, because they're also not making your lives much better. So you did a good thing, but let's keep on doing the good thing. And again, as I've constantly said, if the Republicans start doing stupid shit to get rid of them, alright, just get rid of them. We don't want bad Republicans in either. I don't think all the Republicans are good. I don't think all the Republicans' policies are great. And I don't think that all of them represent the people. So we have to, I would say, vote in the people that would correctly represent you and the people. Don't vote in somebody that actively looks like they're going to harm you specifically. And that's the best that I can say that. Excuse me, guys. I promise I got enough sleep. I don't know where that came from. These crimes, Wong told Washington Post, and he doesn't care. It's just easy to break the law. The latest official police statistics show that overall crime in the city is up nearly 8% this year, with a 20% surge in larcenies, as well as spikes in homicides, rapes, and assaults. I'm not surprised either when you have stuff like that. Most polls conducted in the run-up Tuesday's election indicated that voters were poised to get rid of Boudin by a wide margin, with a Friday survey published by San Francisco Examiner showing 50% in favor of removing him. Boudin supporters pinned the recall effort on conservatives and business groups that raised more than $7 billion to oust Biden, who doubled down on his policies at a recent campaign event. No, that is 100% wrong. This right here is 100% wrong. That is wrong. That would be the actual. That would be actually the far left Democrats. So again, New York Post, you're wrong, again, because the conservatives don't vote in people like this. We see the issues that are faced, and I know for sure as hell that no one wanted to try to keep this in at all. This is not a recall campaign interested in the safety or truth or injustice or in solutions. It's interested in division and fear and spreading hate and undermining policies that make our communities safer, he said. Boudin is the son of Kathy Boudin and David Gilbert, who served as getaway drivers for the infamous 1981 robbery of Brink's armored car in Rockland County, during which two cops, Police Sergeant Edward Grady and Officer Waverly Chipper Jones and Brink's guard Peter Page, were murdered. Kathy Boudin was paroled in 2003 and died of cancer in May. Gilbert was paroled in October after former Governor Andrew Cuomo made eligible of his final acts in office after announcing he was quitting over a sex harassment scandal. Dear God. Again, this is wrong. So let's go and find out what this actually means here, because I may believe this is wrong. So we can easily search this up, ladies and gentlemen. Well, they can't get there. Oh, this is the Washington Post. We don't want anything like that. Damn. It's almost like we're blacklisted here. So, if we type in here and yeah, so that again, they say conservatives, but there is no actual like confirmation of whether or not this was the case or if this actually happened. I can almost guarantee that most conservatives would not have voted this guy in or wanted to keep him in at all, because that's not the case. The back dealings, in fact, a majority of people was been fighting against this in the first place. If you go look at any of the Republican people or whatever, they've been actively trying to fight back crime to begin with. That is on the whole. I was on one of the candidates for the Republicans, and they were trying to actively fight crime, so they would not vote in the DA. So again, that's wholeheartedly wrong, because the Democrats have full hold of this entire state. So I don't know where they're getting that. They're gonna have to cite that exactly on where this is stationed here, or who's doing it. And because again, I don't think that's the correct thing of going on. But no, good job on you in San Francisco. Keep on fighting the good fight. Hopefully your city will get back to a better DA. Hopefully you guys vote correctly next time, and your city gets back to where it probably should be. Maybe less of a hellhole than it already is a hellhole. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.